Todd is funny and upbeat. He's a natural leader. He's a really tough kid. Todd is a very healthy kid, very strong.
He's always trying to make people laugh, tries to make people feel good. Just a nice guy.
And Todd came up to me and said, "Mom, what's this little bump on my jaw?" So I felt it and said, "That does feel weird. It's really hard. Maybe it's a bone spur or something." But I said, "You're going to the doctor next week anyway. We'll just ask her." We asked the doctor and she felt it and she goes, "Yeah, that seems weird. Let's get a CT scan of that." They called us less than a half hour after the CT scan, which they never do, and said, "You need to get an MRI on Sunday." Well, Sunday was Easter. And I said, No, Sunday's Easter. Surely you don't mean, yes, get an MRI on Easter. And that's when we knew there was something serious.
Well, it started off with we think you have cancer, but we're not sure. It was just almost unreal. Like me, my mom, and my dad could not believe it until it really set in. Oh, I have cancer.
Todd's cancer was a very, very rare cancer. He had a synovial sarcoma of the jawbone, and it was a very large tumor, and it was in a very complex and challenging place that without proper treatment would definitely take his life.
I kind of feel like I hit my very long spine.
We didn't know until we got to Columbia how big this thing was. And we went to Columbia because nobody around Kansas City or St. Joe could do this since it's in the face. This is an extremely rare form of sarcoma. In fact, there's been only 8 cases in the world ever reported of this type of sarcoma on the jaw. So they referred us to Siteman Cancer Center.
We talked to him straight up. We said, we're gonna beat this. Look, we're the Caseys, we don't let things stop us, and we'll be here the whole time.
However long it takes, however much money it takes, however far we have to go, 100%, you're going to be okay.
Many hospitals in rural areas are closing, so many of our rural families in both Missouri and Illinois no longer have access to the care that they've had near their community. If there is not access to that care, they will need a place to stay, and that's the reason that HavenHouse exists.
It costs hundreds of dollars in gas to drive 5 hours. Every time we stop and get something to eat, it's not $3.99 anymore. Having a place to stay was the big thing.
The first time we came to St. Louis, we stayed at a hotel that was nearly $200 a night. I realized that we couldn't afford to do that when we found out we were going to come back every 3 weeks, and it's been like over 20 weeks we've stayed here. HavenHouse was an answer to our prayers, a place that we could take care of our boy and not have to worry about other things like food and a place to stay.
Having resources for them to have a place to stay here in St. Louis so that they could get their treatment and also that they could be close to their physicians was key. If he wasn't able to get all of his care here, I would be less optimistic.
It's just one thing after another. I had to go through chemo, and then I had to go through surgery, then I had to go through radiation. I was very scared throughout the whole process, but with my family being there, it was okay to be scared, because I knew that I was gonna make it through. And finally, I'm past all that, and my hair is starting to grow back, my jaw is almost back to normal, I feel like myself again. And HavenHouse, I think, is one of the key factors that kept us through this all together.
They offer all this to families like ours that would just be in a really dire straits if this wasn't here. And we are so, so grateful to these people because it is really, really making a big difference in people's lives.